for longer than half a century, he has played a role in fighting against some of the deadliest diseases we've seen in this country. And now Dr. Anthony Fauci is looking towards a new chapter.
But before he turns the page on this new one, he's opening up about his life, his legacy, and where he stands when it comes to the COVID pandemic. We wasted no time talking about the most recent threat that's on so many people's minds. Here's part one of our interview. A triple threat of respiratory viruses showing no signs of loosening its grip around the country, including right here in Arizona. How concerned are you right now that we're seeing not only a surge in COVID cases, but also a surge in flu cases and in RSV all at the same time?
Well, that's obviously of concern, particularly when you have 3 respiratory viruses.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases and medical advisor to 7 presidents, sitting down with me recently to talk about what's so concerning about the 1, 2, 3 punch of COVID-19, RSV, and the flu. Cases for all 3 diseases are way up in Arizona, especially the flu. Look at the most recent numbers for the week ending December 3rd. Arizona saw nearly 4,800 confirmed flu cases. The Department of Health Services says that's an increase of more than 1,300% from a typical flu season.
We're in a very, very tough flu year. If you get vaccinated, there's a good chance you're going to get a good degree of protection.
And that's also Dr. Fauci's message for COVID. As we enter year 3 of this pandemic, his advice, get all the vaccines you're eligible for.
We've got to do better to get more people to appreciate the importance of getting their updated booster shot.
You know, and I know there is a lot of COVID fatigue out there right now. We're entering year 3 of this pandemic, and I'm sure you hear from these people as well as I do. They wonder about vaccines, and they think, well, if I can still get COVID, if I'm vaccinated, what's the point of getting vaccinated to begin with? So what would your message be to those people?
You make a very good point, Nick. There is a considerable amount of COVID fatigue. People want so badly to have this in the rearview mirror that they don't want to be bothered with anything. But COVID's not finished with us yet. One of the things we have to continue to articulate as clearly as possible is that, yes, it is true that vaccinated people can get infected. However, if you look at the protection that you get against severe disease and death, it is very clear that many people who are vaccinated and infected, if they were not vaccinated, there's a really good chance that they may have gone on to a severe outcome, including hospitalization and death.
What do you see as the future of COVID-19? Do we think it's going to be a situation where you're getting that yearly shot, just like a flu shot?
I believe it's going to be something like that. I don't know if it's exactly going to be each year at the same time, but we have to get into some form of cadence where people regularly accept the fact that they're going to have to update their booster based on what the predominant circulating strain in society is. And what about schools? Dr. Fauci says we need to keep them open. He's not endorsing a mask mandate right now, but says if your child is high risk, it might be a good idea to wear one if there's a lot of spread at your school. Our conversation isn't over yet. Tomorrow on ABC 15 Mornings, what does Dr. Fauci want his legacy to be as he steps down from public service? Plus, what does he regret the most when it comes to his handling of the COVID pandemic? And does he wish he would have asked everyone to mask up sooner? Tune in tomorrow to find out the answers to those questions and more.